I just played the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, and it made me question reality. Then it ruined it with tonal whiplash. This is a very interesting dilemma.
Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favourite. Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you too. Unbelievable. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin,
you really don't have to. So, the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. This was my first time playing the Stanley Parable in any form. I didn't go in with nostalgia or expectations, I just knew it had a reputation. Something funny, something clever, something about choices, and I think Doug's brother made it or something, but that was all. And because of that, I started in kind of a weird headspace. My default nature is not to trust authority. I'm the type of person who, if you tell me to do one thing, my first instinct is to ask why and then probably do the opposite. But with Stanley Parable, I thought, okay, the narrator hasn't lied to me yet, no reason to fight him for no reason, so let's just play along. That decision shaped how I experienced the whole game, because even though my gut told me to rebel, I went with obedience, at least at first. And it didn't take long before the game gave me reasons to start questioning that trust. Before then, however, when the narrator said go left, I went left. He said kept moving, so I kept moving. I did, however, duck into the broom closet because, well, of course I did. And that's where the first crack showed up. The broom closet bit is funny on the surface. The narrator riffing, escalating, absolutely roasting you for standing in a closet doing nothing. But what stuck with me wasn't the jokes, it was the wording. He kept slipping into your species like he's not human. Not just like an omniscient voice not human, but an outside the story not human. It's a small thing, but it tilted the whole room half a degree. If he isn't one of us, why am I trusting him to tell us what to do? So when I hit that split later, mind control facility ahead and escape spray painted off to the side, my instincts won. I'm not walking into the smiling door labeled please comply when the wall literally says escape. I take the side path. That route is mean in a very specific way. It feels like you beat the system, tucked away hallway, up a catwalk, lights humming, and the whole time the narrator's trying to cajole you back on script. Then the floor drops out, conveyor, crushers, a very official looking credit wall that is absolutely not the end. It's a fake victory lap that turns into a compactor. It's the game looking you dead in the eye and saying, oh, you thought this was that kind of escape? Reset. Okay, fine. If I'm going to go off script, let's commit. Next run, I take the right door. Through the break room, bask in the tasteful corporate sadness, keep disobeying. The narrator's patience thins by degrees, and you can hear the smile stretching. Then we get to the phone call. It rings. My wife is waiting. I'm at the apartment. She's talking to me through the door. The lighting softens like a commercial about cereal and togetherness, and for 5 seconds I buy it. Until you hear her voice distort back to the narrator's. The door opens and she's a prop, a mannequin. The narrator walks you through the correct life. Answer the phone, go to work, be normal, be good. It's performative kindness with the threat underneath. I hated how effective that felt. Not because it was scary in a jump scare way, but because it's credible. The fantasy of escape collapses into the fantasy of compliance, and you're trapped in either one depending on which voice you believe. Reset. After that, the game finally let me laugh again with the line TM. The trademark is the joke, obviously, but the real punchline is how comfortable I was to be led. Yellow paint snakes under doors, loops through hallways that absolutely do not help, and every time I think, this is stupid, in a good way, the line takes another triumphant bow. It's corporate user experience distilled. Brand your constraints cleverly enough, and people will thank you for being contained. And then it keeps going. And going. Flowcharts, timers, the narrator reading his own design document out loud while I obediently follow a line on the floor like a Roomba with imposter syndrome. It's hilarious because it's true. Not just of games, but of any system that sells you clarity while quietly removing your options. Reset. And then the one that actually got under my skin. The dream. I'd looped enough times to finally try the downstairs path, the maintenance stairs, the quiet route. The narrator starts to fray. I start to fray. And the game offers me an out. What if this is all a dream? If it's a dream, you can fly. So I try it, and I float. The room melts away into stars, and for a second it's beautiful. That relief you get when the bad thing is finally named and you can step outside of it. But it's not outside. It's a trick of perspective. Everything's a trick of perspective. If I can't trust what I see, how do I know it's real? If I can't trust what I feel, how do I know it's mine? How do I know that this isn't just another story being told to me? What if the floor gives way, not because it breaks, but because it never existed? Wake up. I'm on the ground, body slack, mind somewhere else. A woman finds me, narrates me the way the narrator has been, and it lands like a punch because this is one of my real fears. Perceiving a reality that isn't real. Being sure of something my senses can't catch. It's not gore, it's not loud, it's just off in the way that makes my stomach drop. That's when I realized the game wasn't just playing with choices. It was playing with certainty. The closet made me doubt the voice. The escape made me doubt the map. The apartment made me doubt comfort. The line made me doubt guidance. And the dream made me doubt myself. Reset. After all that rebelling, doubting, and spiraling, I finally decided, fine, let's do it. Let's play along. I follow every instruction the narrator gives me. Left door, conference room, upstairs, boss's office, mind control facility, each step exactly as told. And what I do get? The freedom ending. It's framed like a reward. The lights swell, the narrator waxes poetic about liberation, and I step outside into the sunshine. But it's only possible because I obeyed completely. Every single move predetermined, and that irony cracked me up. Here's me, anti-establishment, allergic to authority, and the only way I earn freedom is to do the exact opposite. It's such a sharp joke, and it works because the game knows exactly what kind of player it's needling. Some part of you is thinking, see, wasn't that worth it? While the other part is screaming, this isn't freedom at all. And I love that contradiction. Not just because it's clever, but because it proves the game can land a punchline with design, not just dialogue. Reset. At that point, I was ready to keep pushing forward, but before diving into what came next, let me pause for just a second. I stream a short game every Monday at 10 a.m. Central Time, and on Fridays I upload a video like this one. Part review, part retrospective, part overthinking. It would be super cool if you left a like, a comment, or even subscribe if you want. I may be a small-time YouTuber, but I put in full-time hours working on this every week. But alright, back to Stanley. Because just when I thought I was settling into the rhythm of the game, that's when the big sign appeared. New content. At first, I didn't know this was the Ultra Deluxe part. I thought it was just the game being cheeky again, dangling a shiny new toy to see if I'd bite, which of course I did. Who wouldn't? A hallway marked new content in a game about choices might as well just be a magnet. But here's the thing. It pulled me out of my rhythm. I wasn't done yet. I still had questions about the buttons in the mind control room, still wanted to mess with the office, still wanted to poke at corners I hadn't explored yet. Instead, I get whisked into a showroom, Steam reviews, the skip button, a meta commentary about sequels and expectations. On their own, all of it is brilliant. The skip button especially. Just the concept of skipping the narrator mid-sentence is hilarious, and I enjoyed pressing it. But in the moment, it didn't feel like a new playthrough. It felt like being yanked into a director's commentary before I finished the movie. That's where the first time experience collided with the intent of Ultra Deluxe. If you'd played the original back in 2013, this would be dessert, a second course rich with self-parody and callbacks. But for me, it was like someone opening the curtain halfway through Act 1 and explaining the punchlines before I had heard them all. And it left me conflicted, because I admired it and I laughed, but I also caught myself thinking, I just want to go back. Back to the dream, back to the escape routes, back to the uneasy dance with the narrator. Instead, I was following neon arrows into a meta conversation I wasn't ready to have yet. Reset. What really threw me wasn't just the content itself, it was the swing. Moments earlier, I was staring into the dream ending, a sequence that hit one of my deepest fears about reality and perception. The next, I'm reading Steam reviews. That's not a gentle tonal shift, that's a hard cut from existential horror to self-referential comedy. And that Whiplash is why Ultra Deluxe didn't land for me as a first-time player. Not because the jokes weren't funny, they were, but because they arrived before I'd finished letting the base game sink its teeth in. Ironically, I found myself wishing for the skip button again. I enjoyed the way it poked fun at the original review, just for me to slowly start agreeing with them. Even being back in the broom closet with my trusty reassurance bucket had me ready to just be done. I'm not sure if I missed anything key to the story or even completed a full playthrough, but sadly, I was just ready for it to be over by then. In the end, the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe gave me an experience that was equal parts brilliant and conflicted. The base game had me hooked completely, making me laugh in the broom closet, making me uneasy in the apartment, making me spiral in the dream. It was sharp, it was funny, and it dug straight into questions about trust, agency, and perception. But Ultra Deluxe shifted that frame. Instead of more endings to discover, I got pulled into a commentary on commentary. Clever, yes, but premature for someone still taking their first steps through the office. And it left me with this strange contradiction. I admired the expansion, but I wish it had waited its turn. And maybe that's the real punchline. Because Stanley Parable has always been about choice, or at least the illusion of it. And Ultra Deluxe reminded me that it's not just about which door you pick, it's about when you're ready to pick it. The irony is that I didn't feel like I had that choice. So my first Stanley experience wasn't defined by whether I'd obeyed the narrator or defied him. It was defined by something subtler. How easily my attention could be hijacked, and maybe that's what makes this playthrough mine. Not the freedom ending, not the dream ending, not even the showroom, but the way I was pulled between them, questioning not just what choice I'd make, but whether I'd make it at all. Thanks for watching. Since I'm the narrator now, I have 2 instructions. 1, subscribe. 2, come back next week for Say No More. Now, will you obey or disobey?
The dusk bends low, a hymn of silver breath, your name unspoken, yet etched upon the wind, hands that tremble